I need to record this so it can go in my newsletter. Hey everyone, sorry about the rough start. I'm still new at all this stuff, so just give me a little bit of grace and bear with me. So, great news, y'all. I've got great news, great news, great news, great news. So I'm so excited. Now I am cautiously optimistic about this, but just so you know, there was a USA Today article that was published yesterday, and these are the highlights from it. It's positive news for the cruise industry, and I'm going to read you some of it. So that's why I'm looking down. But the highlights of it are that cruise ships can, okay, oh, well, let me just explain what happened. The CDC sent a letter to the cruise industry yesterday, last night, I'm not sure. And we have not actually gotten our hands onto the letter, so we don't know all the details. But according to USA Today, these are kind of the highlights of what is in that letter from the CDC to the cruise industry. Ships can bypass the quarantine simulated test voyages carrying volunteers and jump to sailings with paying passengers if 98% of the crew and 95% of passengers are vaccinated. Well, the cruise lines are already ahead of that because they're requiring 100% vaccination with the exception of kids on some cruise lines. So that's great. That explains the 95% of passengers that's going to allow for kids to be able to sail on certain cruise lines without being vaccinated, since kids can't be vaccinated yet, right? The CDC will review and respond to applications from cruise lines for simulated voyages within 5 days. 5, y'all. A review previously that was expected to take 60 days. So we were worried about how it was going to take 90 days once those simulated voyages happened because of the 30-day process and the 60-day process. So now they've taken it from 60 to 5. That's huge. That's huge. The CDC will update its testing and quarantine requirements for passengers and crew on sailings with paying passengers to align with the CDC's guidance for fully vaccinated people. So, for example, instead of taking a PCR lab test ahead of boarding, vaccinated passengers can take a rapid antigen test upon embarkation. And the CDC has clarified that cruise ship operators may enter into a multi-port agreement rather than a single port agreement, as long as all port and local authorities sign the agreement. Sorry, y'all, it's allergy and pollen season here in Alabama. The CDC has clarified guidance on quarantine guidelines for passengers who may be exposed to or contract COVID-19. For example, local passengers may be able to drive home, and passengers who have traveled by air to cruise may quarantine in a hotel. So I know the cruise industry was really struggling, trying to figure out this is huge news, because the cruise industry, the original conditional sail order, did not lay out some of the guidelines that the cruise lines needed in order to be able to start the process. So now we're going to be able to start the process. Of course, the CDC doesn't provide an official start date for sailing from the US, but they're gauging it's probably going to be mid-July, which could save the latter part of the Alaska season. But, the CDC's recent letter included clarification on what is needed to safely resume sailing from U.S. ports, which is very positive. And although we don't currently have concrete information on next steps, once cruise lines can demonstrate that they have completed all necessary steps, they may be cleared for sailing by the CDC. This is positive news for the cruise industry, as it means that ships have the ability to sail again soon upon complying with the CDC's current sailing order. Right now, only select cruise lines require a vaccine based on their booking. Based on your booking, you'll need to see what the cruise line's vaccine policy is, but be aware, every cruise line has a different vaccination policy. So y'all, that's just great news. The cruise industry has said, we're not going to sit back and wait anymore. They just went ahead and started working with other governments other than the U.S. government, because they just had trouble working with the CDC. So, there's going to be cruises definitely sailing out of the Bahamas, Bermuda, Jamaica, and Cozumel starting this summer. So if you're interested in a cruise for this summer, definitely give me a call. We've got a group going out in October on the gym out of Punta Cana. Oh, and Punta Cana. Punta Cana is another place that they're going to be selling out of. And we've got some great rates. And I mean, it was just like, y'all, with the drink package included, the dining package, the specialty dining package included, the $50 per port shore excursion credit and Wi-Fi included, we're looking at balcony rooms starting at like 2,700, if I remember correctly. I just booked myself the other day and I think it was like 2,700 and I was like, holy smoly, that is great. Now, granted, I got to fly to get there and I've got to have a passport and I've got to get PCR tested and all that good stuff. But y'all, it's been, I can't tell you the last time, I'm sorry, I should probably put this down. I can't tell you the last time that I actually got to take a cruise. I've been to all inclusives, love all inclusives, but my heart is just with cruising. I love cruising. So this is like a good day for me. And I hope it's a good day for you. Also, cruises are resuming in Europe. And we're hearing, speaking of Europe, we're hearing that Europe is possibly going to open up to Americans mid-May for vaccinated Americans. So, you know, if you've got your vaccine and you want to go to Europe, reach out to me, let me know. A couple other things that are in the news this week. It's been a big news week for the travel industry. The Real ID, the Star ID, that little star that you have to get on your driver's license in order to fly even domestically. It was supposed to be implemented by October of 2020. But because of the pandemic, of course, they extended it to October of 2021. Well, you know, March of 2020, who would have thought that April, almost May of 2021, we would still be where we are now. So they have since extended it to, the deadline is now May 23rd of 2023. So next time you go get your license renewed, make sure that you get that Star ID. It does require a lot more paperwork. So pay attention to that. It's not as simple as just showing up and getting your stuff renewed. But you're going to have that or either a passport to fly domestically, which is in the United States eventually. Just so y'all know, if you are planning a summer vacation, you need to get on it like a month ago. Everything is selling out that is domestic, like in the US. I'm getting a lot of calls from people who are used to their usual condo, beach house that they're used to having in the US, and they're sold out. And we're seeing pricing going up. A lot of people didn't believe me when I told y'all that pricing was going to go up and not down. And we're seeing the pricing is going up. Mexico is really high right now because it's a hot commodity. I'm seeing good deals in Jamaica. Turks and Caicos is pretty high right now. Hawaii is high right now. So anything that is domestic where you don't have to have a passport, like Hawaii, Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, almost anywhere in the United States is pretty high. So if you don't have a passport, get a passport because they last 10 years, y'all. And the value of the travel that you can get leaving the country is amazing. Just, you know, if you're wanting a holiday trip like Thanksgiving or Christmas, we're already seeing that Christmas is selling out. So what's going to happen next is New Year's is going to sell out. So if you're wanting to travel during those times, you need to get on it. Airfare is up more than we're accustomed to paying for air. So y'all, I mean, don't wait. Go ahead and get your vacations locked in. A lot of times if the pricing drop, I mean, there's certain scenarios we have to consider, but if the pricing drops, a lot of times we can get that price honored. But yeah, people have waited and now, you know what, y'all are wanting to travel. I've been traveling during the pandemic, so I'm not as desperate for a vacation as a lot of y'all are. And because the vaccine is rolling out, people are feeling safer to travel. They feel confident in going places. They're over COVID, and it's time, y'all. It's time, and the rebound is here. So don't wait. It's time to book your vacation. Okay. So give me a shout out, give me a call. I'm happy to help. You know that. So y'all call me and let's get you booked on your next vacation. And now I've got to figure out how to end this thing. So y'all bear with me. Again, I told y'all I'm new at this. So y'all have a great weekend. I hope you have a great day. Bye.